Oh boy, I sure do wonder if there's any new hot GD levels since last I checked. You know, let me just open my phone really quick. So the past few weeks have been kind of insane. Listen, 100 hours did pretty well. I've been in a good few videos by other big GD YouTubers, and I also made this iconic part in the all-time classic Riddle of the Rocks 2. But I don't think I've ever played a part in something before that could truly be considered viral. Until now. I think I can technically say that now. Not gonna lie, it's been a little bit of pressure. Working on the results video for the contest this thing was entered into. There's been a couple sleepless nights. I've been thinking lately about how this game slots into my larger life. I talked in my video, Might Quit, Might Not, about the fact that sometimes I might step back for months, sometimes I might upload a lot, and one day I'll upload for the last time. And yeah, that pretty much still goes. I probably won't make any more videos like playing your challenges or rating your GD messages. I don't really enjoy making those, and I don't think anyone wants to see them either. I've been considering a few different routes going forward, but I'm realizing more and more that life is just really unpredictable. All in all though, I do think it's high time that I only work on projects in this game if I have a very good reason to. I feel like it's kind of dumb. I hyped up this contest so much. 2 separate levels in the contest went mainstream, and plenty of other insanely cool levels were made for it. But I just don't have any interest in doing anything more with these crystals. I feel like I really want to commit to more interesting, personally meaningful ideas. But all in all, at the end of the day, I'm glad I held this contest, and thank you everyone who entered so much for entering your levels. Some of these genuinely blow me away. One thing that really needs to change is my sense of responsibility for this game. As I try to figure out other things in my life, I realized that this game is, unfortunately, kind of getting in my way with how I've been approaching it. And that's why I've made the hard decision to remove YouTube members and archive my Discord server. I will be doing these 2 things as soon as July hits, so say your goodbyes in Jamland, and anyone who becomes a member before I remove them or is a member now will still get their name at the end of my little mountain town. And I'll send out a few more unfinished level copies for my $5 members. I've been kind of slacking on that. Yeah, it's hard to maintain that one consistently. Also, they do get leaked. It's happened. It's not a hypothetical. Speaking of my little mountain town, by the way, that level is going to be my primary focus for quite a while. I'll stream building it occasionally, but honestly I think it's better if I just do most of the building off stream. I still like making stuff in this game, but I need to pull back a lot on the projects I choose to take on. And when it comes to the creating side of this game versus the content creation side, I do prefer the creating side, so with the time I do spend in this game, I want to focus more on that. My little mountain town is at its core a level that will cover some pretty heavy topics, including religious trauma, dissociation, struggles with identity, and burnout. It's a level about being authentic and confronting the difficult truths in life instead of keeping on doing things the way you think you're supposed to while everything is falling apart. About not putting on a fake smile, and I'd be a lot happier if I was living that message in my own life. Really not a huge fan of the idea of releasing this thing and completely countering its entire message with every decision I make, so I'll be dedicating more time to working on myself, and I'll be stepping back from most of the community. Most of my interactions in this game will stay in small circles with people I'm already friends with. I'm 24 years old, and I think I'm just getting a little old to be interacting with most of the community. The stuff y'all do doesn't hit the same at this point. The reality is I have a lot going on in my personal life, and I need to start spending more time around people who bring me up and can teach me how to manage all of it, who are examples that I can look to just manage with everything going on. And if you really need to contact me, then I'm sure you'll find a way. If it's really important, then you can probably contact people you assume I know until one of them is able to pass on the message to me. And if it's not important enough to do that, then I don't really need to know. I'm sorry, I feel kind of like I'm abandoning you all, but this is just for my own mental health. It's nothing personal. As I've started to get out more, and I've been actually talking to people instead of being an antisocial shut-in, I've been thinking more and more when I make a choice about how I would explain it to other people. It's a good skill to develop. If you haven't done that, then please do, I beg of you, it's not too late. Sure, it's harder at first. You can get invalidated, made fun of. Sometimes your interests and choices are just really hard to explain. But there's some things in life you just have to push through to get to something better on the other side, and this is one of them. Advocating for your interests, finding like-minded people, or being open to changing your own views based on the opinions of others, not because you're just trying to impress them, but from a genuine open place where you care about what they think. Learning to feel that way. They're all skills you get better at with practice and with enough trial and error. Anyway, I've been thinking more and more about how I would explain things to people, and I want to be excited when I tell people what I do in this game. So I want to make sure that I genuinely care about the projects I take on, for whatever reason that might be. If I don't feel like talking to people about something I'm doing, then maybe I just shouldn't be doing it. Yorid is an interesting person. He made that level we talked about, the skeleton one, you might have heard of it. He also posted a showcase of said level to his channel and nothing else. He definitely could have milked skeletal shenanigans a lot more. I've talked to Yorid a good amount, and he has this mindset where he absolutely refuses to make levels or any kind of creative work for that matter, videos or anything, for any reason besides his own passion. And you know what? I really respect that. I always wanted to make this channel into my, long-term career, and I'm still not completely closed off to that possibility, but there are certain things that just need to fall into place for that to happen. If I try to obsessively force that dream regardless of circumstance, then the things I have to do might just not be worth it. I don't want to lose myself in that pursuit. If I'm going to dedicate myself to something, and I do a lot of things I don't feel like doing to make that happen, then I want there to be a good reason for what I do. This channel and Geometry Dash as a whole will always be a huge part of my life, whether or not I move on from them. This game has defined multiple years of my life, and while sometimes I wonder what other paths my life could have taken if it were never for this game, this is the one it took. This game and community has had a lot of, pros and cons when it comes to their effect on my life, but one thing's undeniable, and that's that everything that's happened for me within this game has forever shaped the way I view the world. It's interesting, being the absolute shut-in I am, getting out and trying my best, not good, to make friends and get to know people, because it just hits different when you do that after having over 2,000 people watch something you made with ULive, after having hundreds of people tell you in various ways how you've creatively inspired them and how they look up to you. It just hits different. Sure, I feel like I'm miserably failing and a total joke, and then it hits me. They don't know I made Glorious Fortress, but for real, the absurdity of my own situation makes it hard to keep taking failure seriously. I swear. There really isn't a good script out there for me. I've made some strange, insane decisions throughout my life because I was just doing what I knew how to do. I didn't know any better. I dropped out of college. No idea if I'll go back. I'm certainly having to reform a lot of my views on people in order to still respect myself. But through that entire process, my experience with this game is always in the back of my head. I got as far as I did out of passion, because I was excited to bring my ambitious ideas to life. I don't regret what I did with this channel because up until Glorious Fortress, I loved doing it. That's why I did it. Even if, I kind of had an unhealthy balance with what I did, maybe I would go back and change that, but I don't regret making these things, dedicating the time I did to them. But I don't feel like I've been making things out of passion since then, and I think it's time to finally admit and accept that. When I choose to do something in life, I feel like either it should be out of passion, or it should at least be because I feel like I can grow a lot from doing it, or because it's a very meaningful thing to do. If no 3 of those boxes are being checked, then I'd really rather just not do the thing. Am I quitting? No. I don't know if I'll ever fully quit. This game is such a huge part of my life. Yeah, I would honestly say that even if I only have a measly 20,000 hours on Steam. I leave the game open a lot. As long as this game's still alive, I know I'll be checking back here and there to see what's going on in the community, and I know I'll be keeping up with old GD friends, and I know I'll keep making stuff when inspiration strikes as long as I have the time. I might get more into game dev in the future, all just kinda depends on what happens. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm gonna stop trying to know, trying to predict the future. It doesn't work. I'm just gonna roll with what happens in my life. Also, I know I've talked multiple times about changing my brand, but I actually finally have an idea I really like, or at least the start of an idea. A while back, in one of Moldy's hide-and-seek videos, me and some other goofballs started a little gang called the Castle Dashers, and Casper here made this fan art of that. So this is me now. I am stealing this, my design. I might want to workshop it a little bit. I don't know if I want to go with this exact design. It would be cool to try to mess around and change up some things. The X in the eye is a reference to my replacement cube that I use in the game, if you didn't know. But I don't know if I'd keep that if I were to use a design like this. Something similar to this though. But yeah, this is honestly pretty perfect. I was trying to think of a character that fits me in real life better, more like NB coded, maybe a little outdoorsy, long wavy hair. And this is just that, but jam themed. I asked Casper and they said it's cool if I use this, so I think I would like to do that in the future. So hell, if you want to make fan art of this guy, then by all means tag me on Twitter. I'm really interested in seeing what you guys come up with, and maybe it'll give me some better ideas of exactly how to do the character design. I also really want to change my channel name. Something that still starts with Jam, or at least has Jam somewhere in the name. I want something that better captures how I bring soul and passion into my projects. Something that connotates creativity and imagination, at least more than Jam Attack does. I really want to start leaning into that side of myself more. I currently haven't decided on anything, but if you got any ideas, I'm open to suggestions. It doesn't even have to be specifically creativity or art related, just something with, I don't know, a more tasteful ring to it. I thought of just going with Jam Dev, but good luck finding me under that alias. One more thing before I go. I'll be going to VidCon from the 19th to 21st, hopefully I survive. If you're already going to that, then I'm probably the guy who's there with other GD YouTubers you actually know the faces of. I don't think I have a panel or anything, but I haven't completely verified that. Anyway, that seems like a nice send-off to this chapter of my channel and life as a whole. So not sure how things will go from here, but I guess we'll see. You never really know what to expect with life. If you think you do, then you're wrong. Okay, bye. See y'all sometime.